Hi everyone, I'm Kylie. I'm 15, and I've got a story for you that could be the plot of a movie. It all began the day I was born. Mom told me that when we were in the hospital, a nurse laid me down next to another girl, and we joined hands. Can you believe it? Her name was Isabella. Two newborn babies who were only just learning to breathe found each other. All the doctors, nurses, and even cleaners came running to watch the show. They took pictures and filmed us. Wow, these girls are going to be best friends for life. My parents also believed it was a miracle and befriended Isabella's parents so that we could always be together. Photos of us holding hands quickly went viral. Overnight, we became little celebrities. My mom even started a blog about us. They posted videos of us growing up, playing, going to kindergarten. Basically, they posted everything. Things escalated. Isabella's parents even moved into the house next door, so the only thing that separated us was a fence. We went to the same kindergarten, the same school, joined the same clubs. Whenever there was some school event, we always performed as a duo. As we grew up, we took over the blog. At first, we were just fooling around in front of the camera, but then we started to come up with challenges, dances, and different life hacks. Of course, everyone saw that we were always together. At one point, we even pinky swore that we would never betray each other and would always be there for one another. We filmed that and posted the video. The next day at school, everyone greeted us like we were real stars. Here they are, best friends forever. Our classmates always cheered us on, especially Eileen. She was our biggest fan. She watched all of our videos, left comments under each one, and even asked us for autographs. Can you imagine? Our classmate wanted our autographs. It all sounded perfect, right? But you know what? I'd been feeling that something was wrong for a long time. Isabella and I were two sides of the same coin, but over time, I got tired of it. Seriously, we were always together, always the same. I couldn't just be myself anymore. It felt like I always had to follow her lead. For example, I really wanted to try horseback riding, and I asked Isabella to come with me. What? Horses are huge. I'm not going anywhere near them. And that was it. She didn't want to, so I couldn't go either. Or here's another example. I liked a guy at our school. He was sweet and asked me out on a date, but as soon as I told Isabella about it, no, Kylie, we promised to be together forever. Are you trying to leave me? And you know what I did? I turned the guy down because I didn't want to hurt my friend's feelings. But everything inside me shriveled up. Our connection was turning into a chain. One day, I decided to run away. Not for good, just for a short time, to a place where no one would hold my hand. I told Isabella that I had chores to do and came to a horseback riding school. It was the first time I was there alone, without her. And you know, it was a breath of fresh air. I stood by the fence and watched other people practice. At some point, my eyes fell on a guy. He looked so confident as he rode a horse, I couldn't take my eyes off him. But after a couple of minutes, to my surprise, he fell. I immediately ran up to him. Are you okay?
You can't learn anything without falling.
I was mesmerized by how calm he was. His name was David, and he offered to show me around. We walked around the stable, and he introduced me to the horses. He called them by names and told me what their personalities were like. I listened, mesmerized. At that moment, I realized I wanted to learn how to ride horses too, no matter what Isabella said. I knew I would love it. In the end, we exchanged numbers, and I went home. I felt free, like I was walking on air. I couldn't stop thinking about David. I really wanted to see him again. But then Isabella popped into my head. We promised, together forever. I realized that I would never have a life of my own if I kept living by her rules, but I couldn't break our bond. The promise we made hung over me like a heavy stone. I came up with a plan. I was going to lead a double life. Isabella and I would stay best friends forever, but I would also have a secret. David and the horses. The plan was a go. David and I became an item. At first, we just went on walks after his practices, sat in the park, and chatted about everything, but it quickly grew into something more. I felt like our relationship was serious, and it was wonderful. Meanwhile, I joined the horseback riding club. In secret, of course. David became my instructor. I was getting better by the day. My secret life was starting to feel more real, but hiding the truth was getting harder. My parents were growing suspicious. Kylie, where have you been? Why do you smell like hay? We filmed a video in a barn. I knew that one day all my lies would come crashing down. Isabella had been clingier than ever lately. She came up with new challenges for our blog every day. We would dance or try to give identical answers to some dumb questions. Her eyes were burning with passion, but all I felt was annoyance. Even Eileen joined in. She brought us props and helped us edit our videos like she was our personal assistant. I was pretending. I smiled at the camera and acted like Isabella and I were best friends forever, even though all I wanted was to escape to the stables as soon as possible. One day, Isabella and I were filming a video in a park after school. Of course, Eileen was there too, filming us. And then I saw David. He noticed me too and waved at me happily. When he came over and tried to hug me, all I could think was, if Isabella finds out, I'm done for. So I did something that to this day makes me want to sink through the floor. You've got me confused with someone else. You should have seen his face. David didn't understand what was going on. He shrugged and left. I stood there feeling like I had betrayed not only him, but also myself. That evening, I ran to the stable. I apologized to David and told him everything. It turned out that he hadn't known Isabella and I were so famous. He didn't follow our blog. To him, him, I was just Kylie, and that was so sweet.
You should tell her the truth.
No, please, not now. It'll ruin everything.
Okay, but you won't last long like this.
And you know what? He was right. Things went on as usual for several more days. By day, I was the perfect half of our duo, and in the evenings, I was a girl learning to ride horses and having fun with her boyfriend. Everything was fine until one day it wasn't. David and I were practicing in the arena as usual. It was one of the happiest moments of my life, but then I felt eyes on. I turned around and saw Isabella. She was standing behind the fence looking right at us. Her face, I'd never seen her look so cold. Isabella, it's not what you're thinking. I understood everything back then in the park. You lied to me. I didn't want to believe it, but here you are. I knew there was no point in hiding the truth anymore, and I told her everything. That I was tired, that I wanted to have a life of my own, that I liked David, that I loved horses, and that I didn't want to pretend anymore. Her face changed. First, she looked angry, then hurt. In the end, she just turned around and left. I stood there, and I knew that that was it. It was over. However, the next day, something strange happened at school. Nothing changed. My classmates were acting as usual. Some asked to take selfies with me, some praised our new video, and then Isabella appeared and hugged me like she always did. Didn't you tell anyone? You broke our promise, but I want to stay popular. If they find out the truth, we'll both lose everything. Even though it seemed like nothing had changed, I quickly realized that Isabella had decided to get back at me. She came up with ideas for challenges that made me look dumb. Like, who can eat a lemon faster? Guess who was the only one grimacing in those videos? Of course, it was me. Another challenge was called wacky makeup. She made me look like a clown. This is all just for fun, sure, but why was only my face in all those memes? She wouldn't leave me alone at school either. Oh, Kylie, did you forget to brush your hair again? Everyone laughed, but I didn't find it funny. I felt like an idiot. Isabella hid behind the fact that we were sisters and acted like it was all friendly banter. It infuriated. Isabella stopped coming over to our house. She used to spend almost every evening at our place, but now she didn't show up at all.
Kylie, why doesn't Isabella come over anymore?
Oh, she's sick and doesn't want to infect me. Dad nodded, but I could tell he was suspicious. And then one day, she went too far at school. Kylie, tell us about that time you tripped on a treadmill. Our subscribers love your fails. Everyone burst out laughing, and I couldn't stand it any longer. I snapped something back. I knew how to hit where it hurt. Our classmates laughed again, this time at her. Isabella pretended to find my joke funny, but I noticed that her eyes were welling up. Later, when I went outside, I saw her crying in the school backyard. Aline sat next to her and comforted her. The next day, we were supposed to film another video in the park. I came there and saw Isabella practicing with Aline.
What is going on? You betrayed our friendship. I have a new sister now.
Go do your own thing. You've been replaced. At first, I was stunned, and then I felt relieved. Like, okay, that was it. The show was over. I wouldn't have to pretend anymore. So I just nodded and calmly left. And you know what? I felt great. I was busy with my life, dating David, riding horses. I was finally living the way I wanted, and it felt freaking awesome. But one day, I decided to take a look at our blog fun, and what did I see? Isabella hadn't told anyone the truth. She just kept making videos, but now she was with Aline. Except Aline was wearing a wig and bright makeup that made her look like me. She even introduced herself as Kylie. Apparently, a lot of our subscribers fell for it. However, my parents noticed that something wasn't right. Kylie, what's wrong? This isn't you. I wasn't feeling well at the time and asked Aline to cover for me.
Did you and Isabella have a fight?
My heart sank. No, we're fine. But anxiety was already creeping in. I noticed that something strange was going on with Isabella as well. She was acting quiet at school and even stopped coming up with new challenges. Her eyes were red all the time like she had been crying. And then one day, she came up to me. Kylie, please help me. It turned out that Aline had been blackmailing her. She said that if Isabella didn't obey her, she would tell everyone the truth. Aline demanded to be by her side all the time and made her act like they were sisters for real. Now I understand how you must have felt. It is suffocating when someone forces you to stay close. Friends shouldn't do that to each other. I'm sorry. Honestly, it made my heart ache. I had been mad at Isabella for so long, but now I felt sorry for her. Okay, I forgive you. Let's try to figure out what to do with Aline. We sat and thought for a long time until we finally came up with an ingenious plan to film videos that would make Aline look stupid, like the videos Isabella used to film with me. At first, things were going fine. Isabella and I told Aline to do some weird challenges and acted like everything was fine. For example, she had to eat a cake without using her hands or dance in a huge jacket that fell off her every few seconds. People laughed at her in the comments, but not for long. Aline quickly realized that we were setting her up. One more stunt like that and I'll rat you out. Everyone will know that you are not twins, but pathetic liars. Isabella looked like someone had thrown a bucket of cold water over her. Our plan failed. We had no other ideas. We sat in a cafe in silence when suddenly David joined our table.
Why so serious?
David, you don't even want to know.
You're acting like I'm a little kid. Come on, spit it out.
I started from the beginning and told him about our promise, blog, Aline. Long story short, she's now blackmailing us and we don't know what to do.
All this drama over some promise in a vlog? think? The solution is simple. Just tell the truth. It's not like your subscribers will do anything to you over this. Come on, in a week everyone will forget about it. That's how the internet works.
Do you understand what that would mean? Yes, it would be the end for us. We decided to do it. That evening, we set up a camera and filmed a new video. Hello everyone, we have something to tell you. We don't come as a pair. You know, we have let things go too far. We liked pretending, but each of us has her own life. We can't be together all the time. So from now on, we're just Kylie and Isabella. We posted the video and waited. The first comments appeared a minute later, and lo and behold, our followers weren't mad. Finally, I was getting tired of this circus. What a beautiful ending to the story. I respect your honesty. I almost burst into tears. Isabella stood next to me with her mouth wide open. We expected the worst, but it all ended well. Next, we had to talk to our parents. That was even scarier than filming that video. We agreed to have a dinner together. Isabella and I will no longer pretend that we want to be together all the time. We want to leave our promise in the past. I thought they would lose it, but to my surprise, our parents smiled. What a relief. We've had enough of it all too. Our parents admitted that they had long grown tired of acting like best friends, and it had been hard for them too. They only suffered for our sake. We sat there and laughed, relieved. We'd all been faking it for years. Can you imagine? Everything changed after that. Isabella and I stayed friends, but we didn't cling to each other anymore. She signed up for a rock climbing class and even found a high school boyfriend. Meanwhile, I continued riding horses and going out with David. Aline was pissed, of course. She tried to make fun of us, but you know what? We just stopped reacting to it. Once we stopped laughing along, her jokes sounded stupid. Now, I think this story isn't about friendship, but about fear. We clung to our old promise like it was a lifeline, even though it was dragging us down. True friendship is not about rules and control. It's about not being afraid to let go, because you know your friend will still choose to stay close.